Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Friday, November 14th, a little after 5:45 at night. Markets are closed. The weekend is here, and this is our daily recap video for the trades and holdings within the $1 Billion Club. Those are YieldMax's 4 individual income funds with assets under management of $1 billion or more. That's CONY for Coinbase, MSTY for Strategy, used to be MSTY, MicroStrategy, NVDY for NVIDIA, and TSLY for Tesla. Reminder, I'm on X at ETF_Inspector1. I repost things not just from YieldMax, but from the different ETFs and their announcements, as well as shout outs. And so I like to start videos with shout outs, and I've got 2 very big thank yous. First is for Bill in Arizona. He says he's a retired yinzer in the desert. They leave nice messages too. But Bill gave $10 and very much appreciative, and the very kind words that he put in the message as well. And then Damian Waller, who has given before on the channel as well. So thank you again. But Damian gave $100 and just said thank you for your hard work. So I appreciate all the support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Definitely appreciate it. I think Bill actually apologized because he thought he was a monthly giver or something like that. So it's crazy to me to apologize that you didn't give. It's not expected. So that's why I like to make such a big deal to thank people. Okay. Let's take a look at how the market worked out today for these funds. First off, coin up 0.3%. Surprisingly, CONY flat. That was odd. That's not usually the way these funds work. MSTR up or down 4.2%. So they have continued to get pummeled just over the off my screen. Over the course of the week, down 19.5%. We started the week around 250, ended below 200. MSTY not quite as bad, but still pretty bad. 3.96% drop. NVIDIA had a good day, 1.7% increase, and that was NVIDIA. NVDY not quite able to keep up, but still going up 1.5%. And Tesla up 0.59%, TSLY up 0.53%, so just about all of it captured. All right, we take a look at our spreadsheets. We'll start with the trades first and go in alphabetical order. So Coin closing out their trades for this week. That's going to be the buy to close. They're buying the short calls or the sold calls at 302.50, 305, and 310. Paying change for all of them, anywhere from 3 cents to 15 cents. So not very much money had to be spent there. They also sell the other side of the call spread. Again, that's going to bring in even less if the lower strikes are not in the money. The higher strikes are even further out. But big picture, not really much concern with that. And then we're going to start our call spreads for next week. Not really interested in the other side of the call spread, the purchases, but we're selling 297.50, 300, and 302.50, collecting basically $5 to $6 per share, 100 shares per contract, all those thousands of contracts. It resulted in a overall collecting of $4.6 million on the day. So that takes into account closing everything out and selling the new and purchasing the other side of the call spread as well. So another good day. I believe it was all positive trading days this week. Nope, I'm wrong. Tuesday was a negative, but overall a positive for the week. We'll total it all up, and once the dust settles on shares and everything like that, this weekend we'll make a week look ahead video with a guesstimate on what we think they're going to pay out and how the options sit for the week ahead as far as in or out of the money. Obviously, we don't need to look over our options. We closed out everything that expired today and rolled to next week, and we'll get everything more situated. But we do know we sold 297.50s, 300s, and 302.50s. So basically, we're already sitting 2.9 to 5.6% out of the money as we go into the week ahead. Plus more. I guess we'll probably end up closing them out and bringing them closer unless coin has a big day. As far as our synthetics, we have 2. a 310 for December 19th and a 390 for December 19th. Both are underwater, pretty ugly. It would cost 45 million to close out the first and 198 million to close out the second. Coin went up slightly today, so those will go in our favor just a little bit, but not enough to make any kind of a difference. They do sell 100% of the possible calls here, or at least they have been lately. Yesterday, people bought into the fund by 500,000 shares, bringing it up to 201,425,000 outstanding shares. Just barely still in the $1 billion club. I'm going to have to rename this video series if Coin has another bad day. $1 billion in assets under management. NAV at the start of the day, 519, closing around 521. I say around because Excel pulling these automatic prices sometimes takes a while to settle out, especially on a Friday. All right, today was payday as well. So if you have Coin, I do not. I have MSTY. And then I have YieldMax. So I basically have all of them within YieldMax. But if you have Coin, you've received your 8.32 cents per share. I have been receiving comments from people that with Robinhood, their payments are still delayed. So I'm curious if you guys are seeing that as well. I did receive my MSTY payment today, and I received my all my other Group 1 payments yesterday. Next declaration day is next Wednesday, the 19th. We'll go into all that kind of stuff on our Sunday week look ahead. Next, we have MSTY. Okay, so MSTY didn't. Okay, I stand corrected. MSTY had a couple things to close out. 235s and 240s. Obviously, not costing very much to close those out. It's actually surprising how high that is. 60 to 80, almost 90 cents per share on those. Oh, and that's what it is. They are closing out things that are already sold till next Friday, the 21st. So that's why they did have some extrinsic value there. But closing those out and just selling a bunch more because they were leading into today. They only had 49% of their possible calls sold. So that means you can sell without having to buy to close on a lot of things. So for next week, we're selling 210s, 215s, and 220s, bringing in $2 to $5 per share. Overall, they brought in $14 million today on the final trading day of the week. Positive, one negative day in there, but an overall positive week for MSTY as well. As far as our synthetics, the only change we see is they added yesterday to the synthetic 270 expiring December 19th by 2,800 contracts. So that contract number increased. All of these are terribly underwater, and MSTR dropped bad 4%, so they will all go even further in the negative. As it sits right now, they would cost 156 million, 95 million, 166 million, and 306 million. That's how the day started. So 4% worse on that is going to move them even worse. Like I said, people actually bought into the fund yesterday, surprisingly, because it wouldn't get you the distribution. So maybe they were taking advantage of the downturn combined with dividend X day, but that didn't work out because it dropped again today. But 5.6 million new shares, bringing it up over 275 million. Assets under management just under 2.3 billion, but again, that's going to decrease pretty drastically. NAV at the start of the day, 834, closing right around 8 even. And we closed out stuff that was already sold for next week. So again, on the Sunday week look ahead video, we will talk about all that. And today we did receive our 16.2 cents per share, very similar to the previous week. I think my distribution was like within $1 or $2 from last week's total. Okay. NVDY is next up. No, again, similar to the others, no changes in the synthetics today, closing out about 15,000 contracts at 190 for today, paying change 46 to 87 cents, selling the calls that were on the other side of that spread, and then selling for next week. at 195, 197.50, and 200, bringing in $3-4 a share. Overall, almost $9 million collected. They did not have a positive overall week because of buying into the synthetic, or buying to close the synthetic, cost them a ton of money on Tuesday. So we're expecting like a standard IV related payout for NVDY going forward. Again, we don't have to worry about options where they landed, because they're expired now and they're rolled. We look at our synthetic. Actually, let me back up. I apologize. MSTY, I didn't actually list the synthetics. They are December 19th, 270, and then January 16th, 255, 270, and 300. Now we're below 200. Okay, NVDY. Synthetics are at 195 and 200 for January 16th. We're sitting at 190, so they are both underwater. They did move up today, so those will move in our favor, but they will both still be negative when the market opens on Monday. They did add to the synthetic 200 by 1,000 contracts based on yesterday's trading. People bought into this fund yesterday as well, 200,000 shares, bringing it up over 111 million. Assets under management are 1.6 billion. NAV at the start of the day, 15.15, closing price around 15.40. And we did see a lot more selling than buying to close because they did not have 100% of the possible calls sold. So they were able to take advantage of a green day, Green Friday. So that's not bad. And today's payment you should have received is 14.39 cents per share on NVDY. Finally, we have TSLY. Overall, brought in $6 million, didn't have to close anything out, so they're just selling. Okay, again, they did not have 100% sold, so that worked out in their favor because it was an up day, so they sold today into next week, selling 412.50s, 415s, 417.50s, 422.50s, and 425s. Buying the other side of those call spreads, collecting $6 million. And it was a positive week. They only traded 3 days, and all three were gainers. As far as the synthetic, they have January 16th 450s and 470s. The stock price sitting around 404, so they're both underwater, basically 160 million, but they did move up slightly, so they will improve a little. We saw that they added 550 contracts to the 450 synthetic combo. People bought into this fund as well yesterday, 2.4 million shares, bringing the outstanding shares up over 160 million, just under 1.2. It probably moved it to 1.2 after the increase today, 1.2 billion that is. NAV at the start, 749, closing around 753. And you should have received your 9.64 cents per share distribution today. All right, that's all I have for you. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend. I've got a dad joke here, but that was a rough week, so we're glad it's over. But stay tuned for the week look ahead video. I think I've been doing these on Saturday for this series, so I said Sunday earlier, but it'll be most likely Saturday evening. All right, dad joke of the day. I made a playlist for hiking. It has music from Peanuts, the Cranberries, and Eminem. I call it my trail mix. All right, thank you. Have a good night and a good weekend. Catch you in the next video.